threats to use mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction, I want to stress that today's arrest is in no way associated with any foreign national organization. This is an isolated incident by an individual who was disgruntled as a result of an adverse ruling by our local court and wanted to make a statement with the use of violence. Simply put, the charge of terrorism was brought because the facts establish the elements of the statutory charge, or statutory language. We are here today to assure the public that this was an isolated incident by a single individual as a result of his personal concerns and not the result of any specific ideology. I want to now turn it over to Captain Adam Kashiba of the Pennsylvania State Police and Chief Deputy Prosecutors Tim Barker and Dave Sunday, who approved the filing of these charges and will head up the prosecution. Gentlemen.
Good morning, everyone. Before I proceed, I'd like to recognize a couple of our guests here. Corporal Gick from the Baltimore County Police Department, Trooper Jeremy Corey, and Lieutenant Nicole Palmer. Even though you've been given a copy of the criminal complaint affidavit, my intention here is to go through some of the events that led up to these charges, to give you an idea of the reason for such charges. And at the end of that, we'll take any questions that you may have. We'll ask that you raise your hand. We'll address those individually as we proceed. On August 14th, 2015, a domestic argument had occurred between Coughlin and his then girlfriend, Marie Snyder. That domestic argument, there was no violence at that time. However, as a result of that domestic argument, a PFA was filed or sought and given to her for the events that took place, thus keeping him away from that property and having any contact with her. On September 2nd of 2015, PSP was notified by a third-party individual that he had been sending questionable, threatening texts to this third party in reference to Ms. Snyder. The text showed there was a tendency for a course of violence to occur. As we proceed and moved on with that investigation, came October 21st, 2015, and that was the preliminary hearing for terroristic threat charges that resulted from this texting incident. On that particular date, he was to attend a preliminary hearing and was represented by legal counsel at that time. He had expressed concerns at that time, or expressed intent and plans to do harm to law enforcement and do harm to Ms. Snyder, to his attorney. As a result of that, on October 22nd, the following day of 2015, the attorney contacted the PA Bar Association Ethics Hotline and questioned whether or not he could release this information because he believed that harm and imminent death and bodily injury was about to occur to law enforcement and to a member of the public. The attorney was granted privilege to do that and provided the Pennsylvania State Police with a statement as to Kaufman's intent and planning to harm the individuals mentioned. On October 23rd, assisting with the Pennsylvania State Police investigation, we sought the assistance of the Baltimore County Police Department to serve a search warrant at a residence in their jurisdiction that Coughlin was currently staying at. He was interviewed subsequently to that search warrant. He was taken into custody and interviewed. And during that interview,